This downturn is the most serious downturn I think we've had probably since the Great Depression. The last really serious recession was in 1982-83, and that recession, which had extremely serious consequences in particular regions and particular industries in the U.S., was a problem. This recession is quite broad-based. It really has serious consequences for workers all over the country and for workers of all skill levels. Well, it's very difficult. The best signal of that is that we have record rates of long-term unemployment. A higher fraction of the workforce has been unemployed 27 weeks or longer than at any time since we've been recording those data. So it really is, that's an indication that many people who find jobs are just having enormous difficulty finding new jobs. In terms of the suffering, I think it's the least skilled that suffer the most, not only because they're more likely to lose their job, but also because they have less wealth, fewer assets against which to borrow or to spend during the downturn. They're really living, many Americans live what we call paycheck to paycheck, meaning they need their paycheck each pay period in order to pay the bills that come due then. And people with more resources often have some savings to cushion against this kind of thing. Well, I don't think the recession itself has implications for job security, but what's been happening in the U.S. is that job security generally has been declining. So even in good times, it's the case that workers can expect to stay with their employer for a shorter period of time than they had in the past. Now, in a recession, of course, many employment relationships are broken that no one expected to be broken, so that a recession is, in a sense, the ultimate expression of insecurity because people lose their jobs. But in terms of the long-run picture of insecurity, that's been problematic in the U.S. for 20 years now. They're frankly doing what they can. We've had a fairly substantial stimulus package that they've tried to get money into the hands of consumers on the one hand, and also into the hands of government agencies that can spend money directly in the economy. Perhaps most directly, because of the large number of unemployed people, what they've managed to do quite successfully is extend the duration of unemployment insurance benefits so that workers receive their benefits, obviously, for quite a substantial length of time at this point. The Republicans are going to use the recession and the continuing weakness in the labor market to try to beat the Democrats over the head and take some seats. But the early signs are that the recession is ending in the sense that output is growing, GDP growth is positive, and the labor market tends to lag GDP growth for a while. So it could in fact be that by the fall we'll begin to see modest signs of recovery in the labor market that could help the Democrats say, look, what we were doing was working, we're coming out of this now.